welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while, you guys, like a while. It's been a month, well, 6 weeks basically, yeah, 6 weeks or so since I posted, because I've been doing my own thing. I've been recovering. I've been, postpartum recovering, so I haven't really had the energy like to just film. And it's not that I've been busy, it's just I haven't had the energy, to be honest. And yeah, but I'm back and I'm better. So for today's video, we're going to be doing just a little get ready with me and my labor and delivery story. So yeah, and at the end I'll be showing you guys baby Damian, because right now he is sleeping and I don't want to wake him up, obviously, because it's hard putting a newborn to sleep, putting a child to sleep, period. So let's just get right into it. For my eyebrows, I'm just gonna go in with my my Anastasia Beverly Hills. So okay, let's start from way back. Okay, so Damian, he has a heart problem, right? And it's not something that I like to talk about, just because I don't know, I think it's personal, and I like to keep my personal business to myself. And yeah, it's just a family thing that we cope with. We deal with it together, and yeah, it's pretty rough knowing that he has a heart problem, but I'm just gonna put it out there. He has a heart problem. I'm not gonna get really too deep into it, but that's all you guys need to know. The clinic suggested that I would get induced just for the health of the baby, and I don't have a mirror. So they wanted me to get induced a week before my 40 weeks. Yeah, before I reached 40 weeks. So basically at 39, and I had him at 39 weeks. Kind of. Well, basically, yes. I did have him at 39 weeks, but it was like a date, So almost 38, but it was 39. Alright, so my induction was scheduled for the 15th of December, and I was nervous because I was not expecting an induction. So it hit me like pretty like, whoa, like, bitch, I'm gonna get induced for real. Like, this baby's coming right now. Like, he's gonna be here like soon. So I had like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to prepare for that. I think it was 3 weeks. I had 3 weeks to prepare for that. It wasn't like hard, like, oh my gosh, I'm scared, but like I was just ready. I was ready to get that baby out. I was ready to meet him. Like, if you're pregnant or been pregnant, you know what I'm saying. Like, you just want to get that baby out. Like, in the last couple weeks, or like in the last month of pregnancy, is like the hardest. Fun fact, like, I was never really scared of giving birth or anything, because if you think about it, like, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt either way, like, if you think about it or not. So it's best just to know, all right, it's gonna hurt, just get it over with. So that's the mindset I had the whole time. So I was never really scared of giving birth, but I was scared of tearing. That was like my main fear. Like, I don't know why, but it was my main fear of the whole experience, which I did tear, which sucks, but I didn't feel it. So anyways, on with the story. So as you can see, like in my labor and delivery vlog, we went in at 7 a.m. and we stayed in the living room, not in the living room, oh my god, in the waiting room for like a good 30 minutes or so. For like a good hour, I think. Alright, so after they got my room and everything, I got situated with my hospital gown and everything. They were just asking me questions and all that, like for my information. And then eventually, a couple minutes after that, they put the IV needle in me. They poked me right here, like somewhere right here. And then they were like, we can't find the vein. And I was like, so I was like, okay, just poke me again, you know. Like, I had a choice, but you know, I gotta get this baby out, so I have to do what I gotta do. Anyways, so after that, they left that needle, to like just the needle in for like a good, let's say 30 minutes or like about an hour. And then they finally came in, like the doctor or whatever, the nurse. She came in and then she started my Pitocin. What's it called? And my whatever IV thing, whatever, you know, the fluids that go in you when you're pregnant and you're giving labor, whatever, you know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean, hopefully. They were, okay, they put the little, like the monitor for the baby and for my contractions. And I was getting contractions, right? And I wasn't feeling them. So I was like, oh, yes, I'm going to have a natural labor. Yes. Or so I thought I was. But I was 1/2 centimeter dilated. And oh my gosh. When I tell you, when they check you, like how much you're dilated, it's the most uncomfortable thing ever. I wanted to punch the nurse in the face. But I sucked it up and I took it like a champ, you know, because I decided to have a baby, so I gotta deal with what like the consequences are, you know. After that, they just started my Pitocin. They left it for a good I'm gonna say like 3 hours. 3 hours or 4 hours. I don't remember, but it was around that time span. And so my contractions started getting harder and harder, like, you know, like more painful. And my gosh, contractions were like the worst thing about my like entire labor. Like I'll have other kids, trust me, I will. But if I would to get rid of anything during my labor, it would be the contractions. Like the contractions killed my whole labor basically. Actually no, it wasn't the contractions, it was the epidural, which we're gonna get into that. Okay, so I'm going to be using my e.l.f. 16-hour, I don't know if you can see it, whatever, if you can't see it, you know what I'm saying. It's the 16-hour camo concealer by e.l.f. in the shade Light Sand. So I'm gonna be covering my eyebrows with that. My contractions started getting harder after hours. They checked me again and I was 4 centimeters dilated. So I went from 1.5 or 1/2 centimeter, and I went from that to 4 centimeters in a couple hours. And I was relieved. I was like, okay, I'm actually progressing. Just gotta hope that I get to at least like, you know, 6 or something in the next 2 hours. Boy, he did not want to come out, so he stayed in there. He stayed in there for like what, 12 more hours or something, because he took like a really cool minute to get to 9 centimeters, or for me to get to 9 centimeters. But after they told me I was 4 centimeters, they told me that they were about to break my water, and they gave me the option to get the epidural or not get the epidural. And give me just 1 second. I'm gonna carve this real quick and then I'll get back to you. Alright, so I was saying they gave me the option to either get the epidural or not get the epidural. So I got the epidural because motherfucker, these fucking contractions was not playing with me. They hit me like this. Allahu Akbar! So I got the epidural and they poked me 3 times. I was mad. Like, why would you have to poke me 3 times if you know what you're doing? It's like, so they poked me 3 times and I was just like, all right. But my gosh, I remember now that I'm thinking about it, like the trauma just like, you know, it's still stuck in my head. Like, ask any postpartum mom, like, trust me, that shit traumatizes you, bro. Like, dead ass traumatizes you. I don't know if the lighting changed. If it did, I'm sorry. But I was crying and I was holding my boyfriend's hand the whole time, and I remember squeezing it like really hard to where he'd complain that it would, like, I had to squeeze it really hard, but he wouldn't be like, stop squeezing it, you know. But I would just squeeze it really hard. And I was crying because, like, they took forever, or at least it felt like forever, but they took forever, bro. Like, they took forever trying to put the epidural in and shit, and then they never, like, did it right the first time. They didn't do it right the first time, so I was like, what the fuck. But I didn't say anything. I wasn't complaining. I was just like, hurry up and get this over with. And then this is like, from here on it gets like interesting. I don't like this lighting. Hold on. So they finished putting the epidural, and then they laid me down, you know, and then they switched me to my right side because I guess Damian didn't like my left side. He didn't like me laying on my left side. So the nurses were like, okay, just lay on your right side and stuff. And I was like, okay. Like, you know, I was happy that I got the epidural. I was like, okay, no more pain. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna rest, you know. And turns out that epidural was not motherfucking working on my body, bro. My labor could have gone so smooth, bro. Like, everything about it was so nice. Like, the nurses were amazing. The hospital service was amazing. Like, and then the epidural just go and come in there and fuck shit up. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, these eyebrows were stressing me out and shit. But anyways, so like I was saying, the epidural was in. I was on my right side. And then after that, a couple minutes after I was on my right side, I think it was 30 minutes. You have to be 30 minutes on each side. I moved to my left side, and I would still feel the contractions. And like, by that time, I was already like dilating more. Like, I was progressing more and more. So, you know, they would get stronger, and they would get like closer together. So I would feel them more on my left side, and I thought it was just like, oh, okay, well, I'll just stay more on my left side for now, until it kicks in on my left side. But after staying on my left side for hours, like, it was an hour passed, 2 hours passed, like, you know, I kept on going, and I would still feel the contractions on my left side of my body. And I promise you, I will always remember, like, the way I would scream. Like, I was in pain, bro. Like, in actual pain. Like, bro, like, it's traumatizing. That's how bad the pain was. It's actually traumatizing. And, like, I would scream, and I would, like, hold my mom's, like, hand. And then my boyfriend would come, and I'd hold his hand. I would squeeze both of their hands at the same time, if anything. But that was pain. Like, I will actually say that shit was pain. Like, I don't know. Like, it feels like someone is just stabbing you. Like it felt like someone was stabbing me on my back, like on my lower back, like close to my hip. Like they were just stabbing me multiple times, like for hours and hours and hours. And you remember how I said that I was 4 centimeters, and then it was like 2 hours later or something like that, or 3. I don't really remember. I was not looking at the clock at that time, but they checked me again, and I was only 5 centimeters, bro. 5 centimeters after 3 hours. Like, and I was like, when you're in labor, it feels like time is going by super slow. I'm sorry for the lighting right now, but I can't fix it. Like the sun is like glaring on me, but so it felt like I was not dilating at all, and I was getting mad, and I was getting frustrated. I don't know. It was just all bad. And then the hours kept going, and I still wouldn't feel anything. Like, the moral of the story is I didn't feel nothing my whole labor on my left side, like at all. No epidural on my left side. So I guess I had gotten the epidural too early, because once it was time to push, I didn't feel that shit. I didn't feel it at all. Like I was feeling normal, you know? Like I felt it on my waist, like a little bit on my right side, but like down there, nothing was numb. Nothing was ever numb down there. Like, I promise you. Like, yes, I said my right side, like, it felt it, but only my hip. Only my hip felt the epidural. Like, my legs and everything, my little coochie, it didn't feel numb. I felt everything, you know? Time went by again, and I was telling the nurses, like, okay, this is how bad it was hurting that I asked the nurse for a C-section. And y'all are probably like, what the fuck? Like, it does not hurt that bad. Okay, you try, like, pushing a whole ass baby out of you. Alright? It fucking hurts. And I know some girls will say, like, oh, I did it natural. Like, good for you, girl. Like, I was trying to go natural, but I couldn't. Not everyone can go natural. And, you know, not everyone is meant for a natural birth. I'm gonna go with my beauty blender because I'm just talking and I'm not even doing my makeup right now. So I'll be back. Alright, so real quick, for foundation, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation, which is this one. If you've been on my channel long enough, you know I've used that one before. Oops. And the Milani one, because this one's darker than this one. I do not like this lighting, bro. Like, if you see, like, I can't do nothing about it. Oh yeah, so I asked for a C-section, and they were like, we only give C-sections like if they're if it's actually an emergency, or if it's actually necessary. And I was like, I got mad. I was like, I want a C-section right now. You know, I wanted it right now, right then and there. Or I was like, give me another epidural. And oh yeah, in the video, in the labor and delivery video, I show y'all the button where y'all can press the doses and shit, where y'all can get more doses of epidural, right? I got like as many doses as I could. I got I don't remember what it's called. They gave me this like pill, I think it was, or I think it was like, I don't know, an IV stuck to my IV or something like that. But it was like a narcotic drug. They said it was like a narcotic drug that it makes you go to sleep. And that was before my epidural. I forgot to mention that, but I got that. So I got some rest. I actually got some rest. So the whole night I was screaming. I was in labor for 21 hours. And I bet you like 15 of those hours I was just crying and screaming. Like, I don't know. Like, I'd have another baby again, but it's just I don't think I'm gonna get to have a natural birth, because I guess I have a low pain tolerance. So I'm good on it. I forgot to almost prime. I'm gonna use the Poreless Putty Primer by e.l.f. They offered me to get another dose of epidural, to give me another epidural injection or something like that. And I was like, no, I can't stay still and all this and that. And I was like, but I want it and shit. But I knew in my heart that I couldn't stay still. I wouldn't be able to handle it. Like, the whole time I was in labor, I was twisting. I was like this. I was just screaming, alright? I was in pain. That's my point. Like, my labor experience was really painful. Like, painful and traumatizing. But, okay, moving on. So, I thought I had to poop, right? You know? TMI. But I thought I had to poop, but I didn't. And I was telling the nurses, I was like, can I go to the bathroom? Like, but like not in a calm way. Like, I was mad. I was frustrated is like basically my mood the whole time. But I was telling them, I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. Can I go to the bathroom? And they were like, no, you can't. We can't take you out the bed. And I was like I was just rolling my eyes at them, which I feel bad now. I'm sorry. But it's cause like I really have to use the restroom. And they was like, no, like, girl, you gonna let me use this restroom or I'm gonna poop on this bed. I'm just kidding, I didn't poop on the bed. But it's like, that was when the baby was like really close. When I was already like, let's say 8. Cause they didn't check me until like afterwards. I look goofy right now, I'm so sorry. They checked me when I was 9. So I was finally 9 centimeters. And you don't know how much of a relief that was, bro. Like, I was like, I need to push. Like, I really need to push. Because at that point, I knew it wasn't like me having to use the restroom, sino que like the baby was coming. So they checked me and then they were like, don't push yet, like you still got a little bit of cervix left. And you know me, I got mad and I was like, I need to push really bad. So yo de necia, I pushed a little bit, you know, I pushed a little bit. And they were like, all right, go slow. And I was pushing slowly. And then they were telling me like, don't push yet. And I was waiting. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna push, but please hurry up. Like, if they could do anything about it, like, Damian did not want to come out, bro. And so I got mad and I was like, it got to the point where I screamed at them. And I was like, can I push? And they didn't say anything. And they were just like, yes, you can push. And I was like, okay. And then I pushed the first time, and then I didn't give him my all or anything. I was like, I was in my own world. So I wasn't pushing like actually trying to get him out, but I was still pushing. And so then I don't know, like this, I'll always remember this, but like what's it called? It hit me all at once, and I was like, I'm gonna push this baby out like right now. And 3 pushes later, the baby comes out, bro. Like, Damian finally fucking comes out after what? Hours and hours of being fucking stubborn. Like, bro, you did not have to be that stubborn. You feel me? But I felt such a relief, bro. And by that time that I was already pushing, that I pushed him out, the epidural had already wore off, so I didn't even like, the epidural did not help me at all. But I was so thankful that the pain was over, bro. Like the birth, like me pushing him out was nothing compared to my contractions. Like, I will never ever forget the contractions, the pain of the contractions. But I mean, the birth pain, I don't really I don't remember it. I mean, it didn't hurt like that. But I guess, yeah, that's what happened. And you know, they stitched me up. And I forgot to mention this. When I was like progressing with my contractions, and I was trying to get the left side to, you know, get enough, I was mad. You know how I told you I was mad? I was like, okay, I'm a say it in Spanish, but I'm gonna put subtitles. I was like, ¿por qué se meten a meter inyecciones y no saben cómo meter las porquerías? And I was like, esos doctores no saben cómo hacer su trabajo. And I was just talking my shit, bro. I don't even know if, like, when the doctors were there and when they weren't. I was just talking my shit, you know. But yeah, and so I was mad because they poked me 3 times, and then the epidural wasn't working. But I know it wasn't their fault, because it's just how your body is, or how your body is gonna take it, because not everybody has the same reaction to it. And then I had my baby, and that's that. Alright, so I'm going to be answering some questions. So first question is, do you have any recommendations for makeup, or any makeup recommendations? Something like that. I'll answer it here. I'll answer all the questions up here. And I do have some products that I do recommend, and one of them is this concealer, and it's the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer. It's a drugstore concealer, of course. Who doesn't know e.l.f. is a drugstore brand. This foundation and the Milani foundation. I recommend these two. Next question is, how did you feel when your baby was about to come? Girl, I felt relief like a motherfucker. Like, it's unexplainable how much relief I felt. Like, I was waiting for him to come. Oh, and the last question, thank you for complimenting me on my makeup. Next question is, any advice for new mommies? Don't stress yourself out, girl. Like, if you can't, like, adjust to something right then and there, like, don't stress it. You're gonna get it eventually. Like, you're new to this, all right? You're gonna have to learn, because there's a first time to everything. So not everyone is gonna, like, know it right then and there. All right, the next question was, when was his first laugh? He hasn't, like, actually laughed yet, but he's smiled, kind of. And the next question is, experience of being a teen mom. Well, I don't know, when I go to stores like Walmart or something like that, motherfuckers would just stare, and I would just be like, you know, just doing my own thing, because who gonna tell me something? All right, next question is, why don't you breastfeed? I was planning to breastfeed, like, I really wanted to breastfeed, but after a week he stopped latching onto me. Like, no matter how much I would try to, like, give him the nipple, like, he wouldn't take it. Like, he would gag. Like, I felt disrespected, because, boy, I produced this milk for you, and you just want to gag. So I just didn't force it on him anymore, because if he wasn't gonna take it, he wasn't gonna take it at all. But I get really sad, bro. Like, when I tell you I get sad when I see, like, posts about breastfeeding, and how you can get a bond with your baby and all that when you breastfeed type stuff. Like, I get sad, because I actually wanted to breastfeed, like, for a year. He didn't latch on me. Like, you just gonna do that to me, Damian? Like, for real, bro? I'm sad. I'm devastated. Next question, or I think it's the last question. Oh no, it's not the last question. Is it the last question? Yes, it is the last question. Are you going to school or planning to go back to school? No. I'm just playing. I'm going to school. I do online school. So, yeah, because I did not fuck with my other school at all. Like, it was just not for me. I didn't like it. I think that was the last question. So I'm just going to pop my eyelashes on real quick and I'm going to go get Damian.
For lashes, I'm going to be using my lashes. You're probably like, what? You got lashes? Yes, girl, I got lashes. And they're these lashes. I'm going to be using this style, which I already have them. So, I'm working on shipping for out of state. So once I get that done, I'll be able to ship out of state and do all that good stuff. But in the meantime, if you would like to follow my lash page on Instagram, it will be down in the description below. So go ahead and follow that and get yourself some lashes in a couple of weeks. Yes, bitch. Big blinks only. Alright, for lipstick, I'm going to be using I got lipsticks too, sis, so follow that page right now if you want some matte lipsticks that stay on all night long, and you don't have to have no touch-ups. So I'm going to be using my lipsticks in the shade Beach Day, and they look like this. You know, so get yours along with some lashes. Y'all cannot tell me these are not bomb. And they dry matte like that, so if you're in a rush, you know, it's convenient.
So, I introduce you Damian Garcia. Look at the camera. I think he's hungry, so I'm about to feed him. But this is what I gotta deal with all the time. Let go of my hair, please. Can y'all see him? He still hasn't let go of my hair, but y'all see him? No, cute baby, huh? I know some of y'all don't think that. Fuck y'all. There you go. And look, this is his favorite toy. He's sick. I'm sorry. Y'all hear him? He's sick as fuck. What? Alright, well, I'm gonna go feed my child, and I will catch you guys. You okay? I'm sorry. You okay? Anyways, I'm gonna go feed my child, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Say bye, Damian. Bye, fuckers.